Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Tonight, I'm going to interview a deaf nurse. She has a cochlear implant. So, if you have any questions, you want to know what it's like to be a deaf nurse, or any general questions for Brianna, just comment and we'll show her the question. I'm going to bring in Brianna now. Hi, Brianna.
Hello, everyone.
Please.
Yeah, sure. My name is Brianna. Sign name Brianna. Um, hello.
Where do you live? Like, what state do you live?
I'm from Illinois.
No.
I'm 21.
Okay. You're 21. You just turned 21, right?
Yes, I
How
just
was
turned
your
21.
How was your 21st birthday?
It was nice. Better way to spend time with my family. With,
Yeah,
COVID-19, you can't hang out with people, so it was nice. Spend time with my family and my cousins.
that's awesome. Jimbo, yes, this is live. Yes. All right. Hi, Alex. Okay, so I have some questions for you. We'll start at way in the beginning. So, how and when did you become deaf, and how much do you hear?
So, I was born deaf. My mom found out when I was deaf about like 2 years old, and the audiology, they said that I can get hearing aids. So I had two hearing aids in my both ears, and then around age 3, they do yearly hearing tests, and they said that my hearing went profound deaf, and the point where I can't hear anymore. So the audiologist person told my mom about CI, and so
Implant.
yeah, and then so I got that when I was 4, and the last one I got when I was 12.
So you have two of them.
Yes,
Do they help you better? Do they help better than hearing aids?
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot, yeah.
So how much do you hear with both your cochlear implants then?
What's on, I can hear really well, but when it's off, I can't hear at
Yeah.
all, nothing.
Yeah, right. Okay, so since you already answered, you got at 4 and 5. What made you want to become a nurse? Like, what's your motivation?
So, at first, I watch a lot of medical shows, like Grey's
I do
Anatomy.
too. I love medical shows.
Mm-hmm. That I watch so many medical shows, and um, it's always interested in me. At first, I want to be a teacher for a long time until my high school year, senior year. They offer CNA program. So I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna try that. So I took that class and I did clinicals, blah blah blah, and I really liked it. So that's how it got me into that field.
That's cool. Um,
Yes.
Alex, what do you mean? What's new technology? Cochlear implants? No, they've been around for a long time. Or do you mean this live? I don't know. Okay, so was nursing school difficult for you because of the fact that you have cochlear? You're deaf.
Yeah, at first it was difficult because they're new, don't know how to give combination for deaf person, how to like work with deaf person. So at first, yeah, it was hard because the stethoscope, uh, they don't know how to provide that. So everything at that point was hard, but from then it was easy.
What kind of accommodations did you need for school? Did you need an interpreter, note taker? What did you need for school?
Um, for school, I had a Jupiter. I had no taker because medical is a lot of information, so I have someone take notes for me. So that way, the whole time, the class, I can just watch. the interpreter.
Because I can't even imagine if you need to look at the interpreter, right? Look, right, you would miss so much. So I can understand that.
Yes.
Implants are always improving every year, just like your phone, your laptop, hearing aids. It improves every year. What staff do you work? I see you emergency room board. Which one?
I'll work like at the hospital right now. I work at the nursing home with old people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when you finish school, you have to start out at a nursing home and then you work up to a hospital, right?
Yeah, that's what my goal is.
That's actually one of my questions is what your goal is to where do you want to work in the future?
I really want to work in the emergency room at the hospital.
I were to ever be a nurse, I would definitely be in the emergency room too.
Yeah, because you see a lot of things going on, crazy and all that. So yeah.
I watched this one show, Untold Stories of the ER, and some of that shit is like, how did you get a fence stuck in your
right?
You know, it's like what? So, back to my questions. Are you still in school? Or you graduated, right? You finished school.
I'm still in college. Didn't more degrees, maybe bachelor, master, something like that.
For nursing or a different profession or whatever, different.
For nursing.
Oh, for nursing, you want to become RN or
more like more in the ER, where if I want to like also help to sit on surgeries. So I'm trying to get like a degree where I can be overall, like I can work in the surgery room, I can work in the babies, help to deliver babies, so something like that. So I'm trying to get more degrees.
So what does a surgery nurse do? Is that the one that gives the tools and stuff like that?
Yeah, you help assistant tools, pass the tools or wherever they ask. So yeah.
That is great. Next week we will have a very deep discussion about cochlear implants, but today just interviewing her journey as a nurse and being a deaf person. That's all.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Has things got you work in the nursing home, right? So is COVID affecting your nursing home or not too bad?
The place that where I work at, they're very protective by COVID. They have like strict rules where family members can't enter the nursing home. They can only do window visit, and what is nice is that each resident have their own iPad. If they want to FaceTime with their family, they can simply push the button and talk to their family.
It's not the same as getting a hug, so I feel so bad for those in nursing homes. I can't imagine that.
Right, yeah. And what others also that before they used to eat in the cafeteria, so they eat their room, so they're trying to minimize staff
exposure.
Around.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what exactly do you do in the nursing home? Like what are your jobs?
My job as a nurse at nursing home, I take care of old people, give them showers, help them. It's basically help them to get ready during the day in the morning, help them brush their teeth if needed, or help them transfer to go to bathroom, change their briefs.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I remember I saw a post of yours, I think like a year ago or something. Stethoscope. That I had no idea about. Stethoscope for a hearing person obviously doesn't work for deaf people. So how do you use a stethoscope?
So back when I first time, I knew stethoscope for deaf people will be different, and since the school don't know what kind to provide stethoscope, so I had to do my own research and look, and then
Yeah.
finally I found this lady. She vlogged on the YouTube, and I'm like, I need to talk to her because I don't know about this tool, like what website and stuff like that. And luckily, she saw my comment, and we were able to talk back and forth. So the stethoscope is called E-scope.
Okay.
E-scope. That stethoscope, I'll show you a picture so it'll be easier to see. For example,
It looks like a regular stethoscope, but it's much louder, right?
yes.
Much louder. Yeah. I'll make you bigger.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So this that you can either use that headphones, or it depends on your cochlear implant if you have this part.
Wait, show me. Oh.
That depends if your implants provide that. You can use that to plug into that stethoscope and will be automatically through your implant to hear the heartbeat.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. So you have to wear the headphones plus how do you put
I
it? You don't put it on. You
I
just use headphones.
yeah, I'll use the headphones. I just use
Oh, okay.
the part of the stethoscope, use that cord to plug it in, and then it will be attached to my cochlear implants.
So it's Bluetooth? Bluetooth?
Kind of, yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. Um I don't know about her, but me, I don't want to be hearing, so I don't want that. How do they charge them, or are they batteries?
There's no charging or nothing.
They're like the regular a hearing person doctor stethoscope, it's the same thing for her, but it's louder. It connects to her cochlear. So it's different. If a hearing person uses hers, it would be very loud. So hers is louder. That's all. No batteries, I don't think.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any other special tools that you need as a deaf person for nursing?
No. Just the stethoscope. Everything now stays the same.
Yeah, that's the only thing you really need to use to hear is the stethoscope, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what is it like for you to communicate with patients, especially now with mask? Is it harder for you to communicate with patients?
The mask. For myself, all different deaf people can be different. For myself, I can hear pretty well with my two implants, so I don't have problem speaking to the patient with the mask. But if I don't understand them first time, I'll ask them, "Oh, can you repeat that again?" And then typically the second time, I can understand better.
So you don't need an interpreter or anything with you.
Not at the workplace. When I did the clinicals, yes, I had an interpreter.
That makes sense, to make sure you're getting all the information in clinicals. Understood.
Yes.
Do the patients treat you differently because they find out you're deaf? Do they think you can't do the job correct, or?
Yeah. When I did my clinicals, they see interpreter with me everywhere, went to the room. So they think the interpreter might be a different person who trying to like look at that patient or whatever. So there was few times where the patient won't let me touch them because they had my interpreter was with me. Or there's some times where they said, "No, I don't want that lady with you. I don't want that interpreter. Tell her to leave the room," and
I
stuff like
can
that.
imagine that because, I mean, for me, I don't know about you guys, but if I become older or I'm in a nursing home or in a hospital bed, I don't want to show any more than I have to, because if there's two people, that means one extra person knows my issues. So I can imagine that privacy feels gone with the interpreter. Can the
Mhm.
interpreter leave you alone with the patient, or no, they couldn't?
Um, they they if I want to, I can tell the interpreter, "Oh, do you mind to step away?" And then I will try to work with the patient. If I don't understand them, I can tell the interpreter, "I'll come here." Or there's some times where I really need an interpreter, but the patient don't want my interpreter. I'll tell her to like step away from over here, where yeah, so where the patient will see them because it can't see because they have the bed curtains. So
Yeah,
I'll tell her to stand over there so that way I can like look.
that makes sense. That works. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Um, was it hard for you to find any places in the nursing area? Well, any nursing places, was it hard to get hired because of your deafness?
Uh, there was multiple times where I had to interview. I got into the workplace interview, but they never call me back, or they would say, "Oh, hey, we're interested in you," until I call this place and interview with them, and they seem like me, and I got hired. But it did take a while to
Yeah,
get
you gotta
into a place.
prove yourself too when you get hired on.
Yeah, and they also asked me a lot of questions about my deafness. They asked me, "Oh, how much can you hear?" Or um, was there any struggles with you taking care of the patient due to your hearing? So there was a lot of that kind of question that asked me in interviews.
I'm sure because they want to make sure they have good nurses that can do the correct thing for their patients. So I'm sure they did ask a lot.
Yeah, my interview will be like 2 hours. 2 hours. Yeah,
Damn, that's a lot.
yeah.
Hi, Susan. Um, if you viewers have any questions about Brianna being a deaf nurse, go ahead and ask if you would like to know more. Do you know any other deaf nurses or
Um,
not much?
not in the state. No, when I went to EYF at RIT, EYF at
RIT.
RIT. Yeah, I
I
went
know
there.
what IF is, but I know what RIT is.
Oh, EYF stands for Explore Your Future. So when I was in high school, they said if you're interested to join this program during summer where you can fly to RIT and you experience dorm life and meet another deaf people there. So when I fly over there, I did meet a lot of people who was interested in medical field, and I did like take a class there too to meet a deaf doctor there. So it was nice to be in that class to talk to a deaf doctor.
Yeah, I've never. I don't know one other deaf nurse. I don't know any deaf doctors. So that's interesting to me. And I wish I knew some so I could bring them into interview too, because I'm sure there is a lot of challenges, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, if that's how I explain that. If there was a critical I don't know how you sign that. I don't know how you sign
Oh,
that.
critical, serious.
Critical conditions. Let's say if someone was like talking really fast, but it's always good to tell your workplace. It's always good to tell your workplace that you are deaf, so that way they can like look at you and talk to you. But now with math, I don't know how that will work. But it's always
But
good
you
to
said you
tell.
can understand with
Yeah,
the mask. You don't have any difficulties with
no,
that.
that was difficult. But if the deaf person has a hard time, it's always good to tell their workplace that
Yeah,
their staff can't understand really well, so that way they can work around it for that person to
definitely.
understand.
Because if they don't know, they're just going to talk and move, and that can, if it's a critical case and you don't tell them I'm deaf, look at me, something bad could happen. That person could die
Right.
in 1 second, so it's serious. Yeah, definitely tell them right away.
Yeah, that's why I always say in my interview, if I do work there, I'll make sure you face to me when you talk to me, and then they will understand.
Yeah.
So it's always good to say that instead of lie, oh, you're not deaf, and then
Plus,
something
if
happens.
you did not tell them, I wonder if they could sue you for that. You know what I mean? If the
Hmm.
patient dies because there was miscommunication, I'm sure they could sue for that.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
definitely have to tell them.
Yeah, I have met one person during my clinicals, but she doesn't know sign, but she was deaf and had hearing aid. Um, there was one times where she was trying to get attention, and deaf lane can see, oh, they're trying to wave their hand or stuff like that. So she was sitting in the wheelchair, and I was walking, and I saw her hand go like this, and I thought maybe she needs something, but the nurses was annoying her or whatever. So I came up to her, and she said, well, I need help, I need to go to the bathroom and stuff like that. So I always help her. So from now on, they're like, oh yeah, that person helps me a lot. So she tried to get my attention instead
Yeah,
of other people.
I'm sure if there's deaf patients, they'd rather have a deaf person because they can understand their struggles. And plus, ASL, so that could help a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is HIPAA?
HIP, HIPAA is more like a medical like law where you supposed to be, yeah, like where you can't tell anybody about your workplace or about patients. If you talk about your patient outside of your workplace, you can get a huge trouble and can fire you or sue you. You can go to the court about that. So HIPAA is really for people who,
Protect
yeah,
them.
be like, yeah.
Yeah. It means you can't share anything wrong with that patient to other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I keep saying that medical.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think every state has HIPAA, right? All 50 states has
Yeah,
HIPAA.
everyone, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What else do I have? So you don't work with any other deaf nurses? Have you met any other deaf nurses, doctors? Nothing. Hopefully one day you can. That would be cool. What advice would you give to any deaf person that wants to become a nurse? What advice do you have for them?
My advice is that don't give up. There was a lot of times where I was, I don't want to do this anymore, so I want to give up. And another thing is that if someone tell you, oh, you can't be a nurse because you're deaf, don't lean on to that. Try to, if that's something what you really want, keep doing that without people telling, oh, no, 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 you can't, you can't, you can't. So,
Yeah, just keep going and prove them wrong that deaf can do it. I'm sure they will have a lot of struggles, but I'm sure they can work in a hospital setting.
mm-hmm.
Or what do you mean by that? Yeah, hospitals are a business. Yes, they are, but what do you mean by that? Hi, Mary.
Hello.
So, so that's your the why isn't that going down? There we go. So your advice is don't give up. What resources do deaf people have to become a nurse? Do they have any resources?
um I know that there's some, I forgot what's it called. You can always look up if there's any organizations for deaf nurses, and I forgot what's it's called. But it's like you can look up. I think.
GPR, it's a program that helps deaf people get a job and go to
Oh,
school.
oh no, no, no,
Oh,
not that.
yeah, my
No,
bad.
it's okay. They have this organization. I forgot what it's called. I can't think of the name, but they usually have organization where you can visit and you can meet real professional who are deaf, and they teach you how to make sure that the medical place give you accommodation and stuff like that. You can always look up and join one of the organization to work with real deaf
No, we had
like that.
organizations like that. Many, you mean some hospitals are not busy? They're less busy compared to other hospitals? I think that's more of a preference. I think. I'm not sure what you mean.
I
Do
think
you know what he means?
I think he's trying to say if if is I think he's saying that if the hospital is more busier than nursing home. I think that's what he's trying to ask.
Oh, yeah. I think one hospital busy, one hospital is not that busy. I think it has many factors. Insurance, preference, where's your doctor, um what kind of doctor you need at that hospital. So I think it varies. So
Yeah, it varies.
yeah. That's just my opinion. I'm sure like me, my here in my town we have I think four huge hospitals, and I go to one hospital all the time. It's just my preference. They have better, friendlier nurses, they have better equipment, but my doctor, my personal doctor, is at a different hospital company. So it's just different preferences, I guess. That's my opinion. What is blue code?
Yeah, blue code means that if someone is in a cardiac arrest where the heart stops, so people say, "Oh, blue code," so that way it warns that all the staff can run to that room and help to get the body back, the heart back.
That's a good question.
Oh, hospital
How do
code.
you know if it's blue code, black code? I don't know the difference.
Um, that well, at the hospital they will. Well, it depends on the deaf person. So, like myself, I can hear So, but the nursing home, they have this little called pager. So they will talk through it and it will be like, oh, something emergency happened, go to this room. And which is nice about it is the pager, it pops up the name, the patient's name and the room number, and I will know, oh, okay, that's emergency happened, I can run and help. But some other places maybe have light, or some other places will yell out blue code. Yeah.
That's true. How many codes are there? Now I'm just asking you random questions because I'm curious.
Well, I'm still learning,
So, yeah.
but the one that everyone knows, oh, blue code. But there
Okay.
are a lot of different codes for, like, if someone, I don't know, like someone trying to break in the hospital, it'll be like, you know.
On Grey's Anatomy, the TV show, they had a pink code. I never heard of pink code. I don't know if it's real. I should have researched it before I started this, but code means that a child is lost in the hospital. They're looking for the child hiding in the hospital. So that's why I was curious how many different
Yeah,
codes there
there's a
were.
lot.
I didn't know.
There's a lot for specific things, and also all the hospital and nursing home, their code might not be the same.
Right. They
So,
have different, yeah. I think that's all my questions for you. So if someone were to ask you, how can I start the nursing program? What what steps do they need to take before they can start to become a nurse?
well, my advice to everyone, if you want to become a nurse, is always the best to do CNA, certified nursing assistant, so that way you can get your foot in and learn and will become yourself better as a nurse. So the first step, you will have to see if there's any CNA school around you, and you pay for the class. You learn. Usually it takes about 6 to 8 months.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's
it's for
very long
CNA.
to become a CNA.
CNA is very not long, just maybe a year. It's not that long. Um, you do clear, huh?
Nope, keep going, keep going. I'll wait.
Okay. You do clinicals. They have checklists where you have to pass certain checklists to make sure you know your experience. After that, you do a say exam. If you pass the say exam, then you can work in the nursing home or anywhere hospital and get your license certification. And then the next step for nurse, you need you need a degree, a bachelor degree in college. So you will have to sign up for college to get a degree to become a nurse.
How long do you have to do clinical? Like now you work in a nursing home. How long do you have to do that before you can start in a hospital?
Uh, well, clinical is maybe a month, 2 months. A
Okay.
month and 2 months. It's not too long.
Where do you go for clinical? Like a hospital or a nursing home or?
If you're in CNA program, you would do clinicals at nursing home.
Okay.
If you're trying to do a nurse, your most likely clinical will be in the hospital.
Okay. So a nurse and a CNA are different?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought
Yes.
CNA meant all nurses. So what's
Well,
so
it's a CNA is a nurse, yes, but CNA has like limit things that they can do. They can't give medicine. Nurse, they
oh,
can give medicine. That's the only thing that they're limited on. They can't give shots. They can't give IV and stuff like that. But the nurse, they can do everything.
I didn't know that. So a nurse is mostly for like hospitals and doctors, but CNA is mostly for a nursing home or
And hospital too.
hospital too.
Yeah.
So what does CNA do in a hospital?
They assisted with the nurse, so they can remind, oh, you have to take your medicine, or they help take showers, or help them move to another room,
Uh,
or yes, or help them to do exercise or stuff like that. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. So that's cool.
Have you seen?
Mary, she doesn't work in ICU. She works in a nursing home right now. Later, she wants to work in a hospital.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It depends on hospital. It'd be different colors and code, but that could be one of the code.
Makes sense. Where you can first? Huh? Where you can first? What do you mean? She doesn't work in a hospital.
No, not right now. I mostly work in a nursing home. But yeah.
Well, my cousin is resident for internal medics, a fourth year resident. Cool. A resident is right before a doctor, right?
Yeah. Like training to become a doctor.
Okay. Yeah, she is a CNA. Right now, she's a CNA now. Yeah. So, do you have any funny stories or embarrassing stories that happened while you were a CNA at the nursing home or clinicals?
Yeah, I have one. It's funny story. I like to tell this story to everyone. When I was in clinical, and this lady, she loves to talk a lot, loves to talk. And for myself, I like to talk a lot too. So we both work together well, and my interpreter was there too. Until one day, she was in a wheelchair, and I was walking in the hallway, and I saw her. She needed help, and really, she didn't need help. She wanted to talk. So I stood there. I was talking to her, and she usually wear glasses. And so on that day, she was not wearing glasses, and then she was talking, and then she said, "I can't find my glasses. I can't find my glasses." And I was like, "Oh, where is it? Is it in your room?" She said, "I don't know." And she said, "I think it's on the front desk." And I was like, "Okay." So I went over there. I looked. It was not there or nothing, and came back. And I was like, "It's not there." She said, "Can you check my room?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I went in her room. The glasses was not there. So I came back, and then I was like, "It's not there." And then she said, "Oh, that's weird." And then my interpreter said, "I think it's in her tissue box," because she always had her tissue box, and she likes to clean her nose and put it back. That's her own thing. So my interpreter said, "I think her glasses might be in the tissue box." And then I was like, "Okay." And then so I went and put my gloves on. I was like, and I found her glass in her tissue box. And she's like, "Oh my God, you're my lifesaver." I was like, "No, my interpreter found it for you. Let me go clean your glasses." And so she put it on. Yeah, she put it on. She was like, "Now I can see so much better." So, yeah.
That's funny. The interpreter is there to help you, but she actually knew where they were, you
Yeah.
know?
I was like, "Oh, how did it get there?"
Yeah. Yes, Alex, she said she wants to become a nurse to work in a hospital.
Yes.
Maybe later on, when she starts working in a hospital, I can interview her again to see what the difference is between maybe later on when she gets there. I wonder. I'm sure.
Yeah, because nursing home people is there every day, so they get tired of it.
They're
So
bored. They're
or
isolated.
yeah, right. They want to see their family. So yes, there are some time where they fight with the nurse.
My dad was one of those, but he had a good reason. My dad is deaf and he's in a wheelchair. He had to go to a nursing home because he had a rotator cuff
Oh,
surgery. He's in a wheelchair, so he had to go to the nursing home. And, hearing people tend not to think about us being deaf. So I guess the nurse was yelling and yelling and yelling at my dad to get up, but my dad's deaf. So he obviously didn't wake up. So the nurse was a bitch, in my opinion. She grabbed the blanket and ripped it off of my dad, and my dad was scared because he thought something bad happened. He thought it was emergency. So he freaked out, and yeah, they had a big fight, and the nurse got in trouble because they warned all the nurses that you must tap him to wake up. He's deaf. And the nurse was like, oh, I forgot. I kept yelling, but he didn't wake up. No shit. He's deaf, So yeah, I'm sure many fights in nursing homes.
yeah.
How do you deal with deaths in the nursing home? How do you deal with people dying? How do you deal with that?
I try not to be attached, attached to that person. Oh yeah, that's my favorite patient. But no, I try to not have favorites, so that way I'll cry over, oh, that patient died. But
But I'm sure it's hard because I'm sure
it's really hard. Yeah,
come up and you don't expect to get attached, but you do. And
I do.
how do
Yeah,
you handle that?
I just cry and then move on and get used to it. Yeah,
Was it hard at first for you? Was it hard?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure.
When I took this patient a long time, and then a couple weeks later, I heard that she had a broken hips, so she was laying in the bed for a long time. She was usually active person, walk around. So of her laying in the bed, she eventually passed away because not really excited to walk around. She's more laying in the bed. So that's what happened, and I started crying. So that, yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. Whoa. I lost. Okay. How do you do rounds the next shift you tell them open doing your shift?
Yeah, all CNAs have to.
Communicate.
Yeah, CNA is the one who's most key to communicate with everyone in nursing home, because CNA is the one has more shit than nurses and doctors in nursing home. So each shift they have to update the next CNA and the nurses, and they also chart, and they have to chart everything. Yeah.
Do
So
you have to do vitals? Do you
yes.
do vitals? You want to explain to the viewers what vitals are?
Vitals is that you check their heartbeat, um, check their pulse, you check their temperature, you check, the normal, blood pressure, the normal thing when you go to the doctor's office and they check your blood pressure, pulse, so stuff like that is vital signs.
Vitals. So that's what you write in the chart. That's what you mean by chart, right?
That, and also you chart how much patient eats, you chart how much they go to bathroom. So if there is a patient that is really ill and they can't go to bathroom, they have it's called
Bedpan.
bedpan or a little bag by their bed, and you can measure how much pee they go, how much poo they go, and then you chart that.
I wish you oh, she was 16.
What else to do?
I think he's wishing you good luck in becoming a nurse.
Thanks, Alex.
Security.
Well, the nursing home is overall security. All doors are locked, so patient can't walk out. But the most,
I think he's asking if the people fight, do they have security to help you break it up?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's called all-timer. I don't know how to spell that long word. All-time.
Dementia.
Yeah, dementia, Alzheimer's. That is really sad to watch people who become older and get Alzheimer's. It's sad because they don't remember their own kids. They don't remember their husband. They don't remember nothing. It's so sad to watch that. Ugh. I could not be a nurse. I already know I could not. I can, whoops, I can handle like emergency room, but like working with the same patients every day and it becomes a bond, you know. I couldn't do that. It would break my heart to watch them suffering and I'm too sensitive that way.
Yeah, and you got real gentle.
I don't take COVID very serious. I know it's real, but in my opinion, I don't think it's anything to be scared of. Unless you're older and have other illnesses, then it's concerning. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Alex. Yeah.
Always try to think positive every day.
What is one of the biggest struggles you had either in school or clinicals or your job now? What's one thing you really struggle with?
Well, the one struggles when I was in school, like school of CNA program. And so the teachers obviously new to a deaf person, don't know how to provide combination and stuff like that. And there was one time where my combination is the testing. So where I can take the test in a different room with the interpreter. So this of course at the end of the class, they have a test where you can practice for a say exam. So out of nowhere, the nurse teacher, she said, "Oh, you have to stay in the room and take the test. You need to practice because you're not going to have an interpreter for the say exam." And then I was like, "Wait, what? No, I will have an interpreter for the say exam. What do you mean?" And then she said, "No, you can't have an interpreter for the say exam. The law, the say is strict about that. You can't have an interpreter." So at that point, I was like, I didn't know what to do because it was like in front of 30 kids in the room and I don't want to be embarrassed. So I was sitting there and then I look at the questions and look at the interpreter. I was like, I need you to sign the questions just to go up and tell her. I was like, okay. So I got up and told her, I said, hey, I need an interpreter for this practice test, even though the state test is coming up. We can work it out and see if I can have an interpreter or not. And then she got all mad and she was like, okay, fine. So I took that test, and then when the state exam came up, that was a huge argument because it involved me and it involved my my deaf teacher, and that involved the nurse teacher and the interpreter and the say. So they were like all talking.
That's illegal to deny you accommodation. I
Yeah.
had the same thing in college. I had to take I could, if I wanted to, take the test in another room with an interpreter. I could, but yeah, it sounds like she felt like you were being favored or something. But
Yeah.
we're trying to work with our disability.
Right.
That's
So
a bit rude.
there was like la 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 la, la. And then when I got to the another college site where I had to take my exam, at first they're like, "Oh, you had an interpreter for the test." I was like, "Yeah, I called and you said it was fine." So they had to reschedule the whole thing to get a verbal translator too. So it was like one verbal translator and my interpreter. So she voiced the question, my interpreter signed the question. It was like, well,
Maybe she thought the interpreter would give you all the answers or something.
yeah.
Whatever. I met one of my good friends. She's senior citizen. I love her. I hang out with my mom, working. She's sign language. She's lonely. Family never visited her. I'm the one. Oh, you visit her. Yeah. That happens to a lot of older people. Their family seems like they forget about them or don't visit much or leave them alone at a nursing home. That happens a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I am the one. She asked me if I can become her granddaughter. I called her grandma. Funny. After I saw her after craft, next day she passed away. I ran to the nurse. She passed away. Cried grief. Yeah. Sorry for your loss. It's hard. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. ADA. That's what the ADA is for. It protects us and makes sure we can become successful.
Right, and that the ADA, it just remembered me. So when we were arguing, and then my deaf teacher had to print the whole ADA package. She was like, "Here, give this to her." I was like, "Okay, here, read this," and I gave it to her.
It seems like your nurse teacher, either she's not educated on ADA laws with deaf people, or she just didn't care. Trying to bring you down like you can't do it. And that's just bullshit. I think you need a new nurse teacher.
I think she didn't really knew if I could have a interpreter for the state exam. I think that's the biggest thing she was like confused on about
And
it.
you think they would have to take a class on ADA rights and equality and all that. You think they should, or excuse me, they should learn about it for the next deaf student or whatever. That's cool. One of my doctors, well, I have one doctor, and then if she's absent, her sub doctor, her partner, he is actually severely disabled. He's in a wheelchair. He has cerebral palsy. And that's the first time I ever met a very disabled person. I don't consider deaf being disabled. You know, I think many people don't think being deaf is disabled. But anyways, it's not something being deaf or like I have a nerve disease is minor, but that doctor is severely disabled. His hands wouldn't work right, his legs didn't work right, and he still became a doctor. It was very inspiring to see that our world is slowly changing and letting everyone do their dream job, you know. Really cool to see you. I think you kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm very friendly, so yeah, I talk to everyone.
She has that personality where everyone gets along with her. She's
Yeah.
sweet, she's nice. But I have met some not patients, some nurses that are like, how the fuck are you a nurse? But I try to keep in mind because nurses do work 18-hour shifts. They have a lot of stress on their plate. They do a lot more than a doctor would. A doctor just, what's your problem? Okay, here you go. And then everything else is for the nurse. So I try to remind myself she probably had a bad day, she probably worked a long shift, but some nurses should not be a nurse, but that happens.
There was one time where I did 12-hour shift for clinicals because we need to get all the hours in. And that day was like a lot of work from 7 to 7 at night. So it was like tiring to do everything all day. And then you get home, I was like, I'm ready to go to bed. So
I'm sure. I couldn't do it. Do you have blind people in your nursing home?
I never experienced having a blind person at nursing home.
My great uncle, he's in a nursing home. He used to see. He's deaf and he's in a wheelchair. He has the same nerve disease I do. And he just became blind, like fully blind, about 7 years ago. And his family didn't know what to do with him. So they threw him in a nursing home, obviously, because you have a deaf, blind, and handicapped person in a wheelchair. So they didn't know what to do now that he couldn't see. So they threw him in a nursing home. I found out like 3 years ago, and I went to go see him in the nursing home. I had to leave. I was crying so hard, so heartbroken because the nurses can't communicate with him. They can't tell him it's time to eat. They can't tell him it's time to shower because he can't see, he can't hear. It was, and I tried to educate the nurse saying they have many programs for the deaf and blind. He needs to go to a different nursing home where they can help with that because no one knows sign. They can't even do the alphabet. They can't help him. And that nurse was a bitch. She's like, I know what I'm doing. I can do my job. And I was like, I left in tears because the last few years of his life, he's literally rotting in a dark room with no communication, nobody there to see him. It's hard. Ugh. I just wish nurses, not all, obviously, there's many. I have many awesome nurse friends, many, but there are some nurses that are stuck in their old ways and they don't want to learn new accommodations and things like that. So that's why I'm thankful for the new generation because we're bringing change. You know what I mean? We're bringing change and improvement. You changed the name. Airwolf. I can't spell today.
But before it was not deaf, I think.
Yeah, now he added the deaf, right? That's why I'm like, oh, he changed his name. I don't think you worked long shifts in the nursing home.
No, it was only one day that I had my clinical, needed more hours. So I did one time, I did 12-hour shift. But no, I worked maybe 7 hours, 8 hours.
In a hospital, it's different because they might give you 8 hours, but then things or more people come to the hospital and things happen and change, so you have to work longer. So in the hospital setting, it's different than a nursing home, I think.
She's supposed to get it soon.
Hi, Kevin Power, right? Right, Kevin Power. Right. I know he switched to Twitch.
Oh,
Carly says, Mary Jane, you need that chat.
I notice senior people hate nursing homes, want to go to real home. I understand why. I don't understand why my dad hates. In my opinion, why people hate nursing homes, because a lot of families leave them. They don't visit. Maybe once a month they go visit. They just, you're basically thrown somewhere and left. And a lot of families leave them. They don't care about them. Plus, you're with a lot of roommates. You have a lot of roommates, and that's a big change for someone who's becoming old, and they're used to staying home with their real family, and then they're going to a different place where you have many strangers and people have to take care of you. Many people also, it's a pride thing. I don't want someone to help me go to the bathroom. I don't want someone to help me shower, so there's many different reasons for that. That's just my opinion. I don't know about Brianna's.
yeah. Everything what you just said, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, they're probably tired of being there every day, see same people, and maybe some nursing can be like, I don't want to keep helping that person or whatever. But
there is also, I'm sure you've seen many videos. Nowadays, it seems not all, obviously, there are many good nursing homes, but some nursing homes, I've seen so many videos where the nurses will hit the person or throw the person. And I'm sure people are scared of that too, I'm sure.
mm-hmm.
It's just like with daycare. Daycare, that happens too. They take care of little kids, but you still see many newspapers and videos of it showing up where your kids got hurt at daycare. Same with nursing home. I don't know.
Yes.
My aunt and uncle were a doctor, but they retired. Cool.
This isn't
Yay! I was right. Kevin Powers. I visited Senior Citizen. My dad was there. They bring dog service. It's amazing. She doesn't have a dog, but maybe the nursing home does.
But patients are allowed to bring like their supportive dogs or something like that. It depends on nursing home, but the nursing home that they have, they do have dogs and cat as a pet.
That's awesome. I think all nursing homes should do that. Not all, because I'm sure some people are allergic, but I think most should, because like I said before, a lot of family or older people get thrown in a nursing home and they become lonely and isolated. And I think that's amazing if a nursing home lets them have a cat or a dog, because that helps them feel loved, and that's amazing. That's awesome. Kevin and me are on Discord. Oh, that's why, Airwolf, you have the dot, because you're on Twitch. Well, Kevin's on Twitch, not Discord. Yeah. Kevin is on Twitch. I don't have Discord. I'm confused. Anyway, do you guys have any more questions for Brianna about her schooling, job, anything about being a deaf nurse? Do you have any questions about that? Do you have anything else you want to add or share with your experience, or?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay. Maybe later on when you start, or you've been working at a hospital for like 1 year, I can interview you again and we can see the difference from now to the future. You know what I mean? We can compare and see what's different.
I could work in the hospital, but I didn't want to right now because I wanted my experience at nursing home first, and then work in the hospital.
Yeah. So how long do you have to work in a nursing home to go to the hospital, or you can go to the hospital now?
I can go hospital now. They have CNA and nurses there, so I can apply there.
I think it's a good idea to start at a nursing home because it gives you a chance to experience what it's like to work with people, take care of them, because going to a hospital is a step up and more work. So I think it's a good way to get your feet wet, so to speak. You know what
And
I mean?
also at nursing home, you don't get a lot of patient as you would in a hospital. I feel like if I work in a hospital, like the first step, I'll probably be overwhelmed on how much patient they will give you. So
I'm sure. Yeah. I did explain to my mom about the dog service. My dad and mom shocked. Dog service woman came to me asking if I was deaf. I said yes.
My backside going.
I have a service dog. My service dog. Plus, if they are registered as a service dog, you can bring them everywhere with you. You can. Good luck.
I got a
Oh,
piece here I can't get. Here.
on Discord. Oh, I see. I don't know it. I don't think I have Discord. So I'm kind of confused because you both are on Discord, but I don't have Discord. So how is this live spread to Discord?
And
That's what I'm thinking.
these things,
Anyways,
I like it in
all we have. I think I asked all my questions.
okay.
That's all. Thank you for coming to share your journey, your experience. I really appreciate it. And I hope other deaf people can watch this and realize, oh, they can become a deaf nurse too. So that's why I wanted to do this, because I don't see any deaf nurses. So I'm hoping this will make some people realize they can do it and inspire them too. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming.
Too.
Okay, so I don't know. There. Hopefully Brianna will see this later. Yeah, no problem. So thank you for coming to watch and learning something new, hopefully, and I hope some deaf people in the future will watch this and become a deaf nurse, because we need deaf nurses. We have so many. I mean, obviously anyone can go to the hospital at any time in your life, and we struggle with that. We have to wait 1 hour, 2 hours, go get an interpreter. So if there's a deaf nurse available, it's more quicker. So that's another reason why I wanted to do this. We need more deaf nurses. So thank you for coming, and I appreciate it. I hope you all have a good night. And I probably will go live this maybe tomorrow or this week. I don't know yet. Just watch my Facebook page and I will post when I'm going live. But for sure, I will go live next week. On Friday, we will have the cochlear implant education live next Friday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then I will go live during the week too. So, oh yeah, you're the only one who asked for it. I always forget to share it. I got you. If you want to donate me a cappuccino, go ahead. Anything that I get from donations, I use that money to improve my lives. like I'm now working on, and so I'm not going to be in this awkward corner for much longer. Next week I will be moved over to a nice wall with stars in the background. It'll look better. So that, all right. So any money I get from donations I use to put back in lives or giveaways or whatever. Awesome. Yay, no problem. Happy you could come. What time is it now? It's 7:15. Should I go live random for like an hour after this? Let me know if you guys want me to go live to do random chat for a short time, or just wait till this weekend. On Sunday night, I will go live. This Sunday night, I'm gonna go live. I'm trying to decide if I should go again tonight or not. I don't know. Waiting to see if anyone interested to have a random live tonight. I don't know. I'm just going to shut it down. I'll think about it. Yeah. Wait for this weekend. I'm going to go live this Sunday night for sure. Maybe Friday night, maybe. Next week I will go live twice, so I'll wait for this weekend probably. I do too. We'll see. I'm going to shut it down, and if I don't go live tonight again, I will for sure this either Friday night. No, Friday night I can't. Sunday night. I will go live Sunday night. Okay? But maybe I will go live again. I don't know. Give me a half hour or so. I will probably go live. I'll go live again in a half hour, okay? Love you guys. Thanks for coming. See you in